Namaste. Welcome to Zoom Yoga number 40. As always, we'll start with the quote. It's attributed to Dale Carnegie, but it is, "Today is the tomorrow that you worried about yesterday." Today is the tomorrow that you worried about yesterday. And invariably, tomorrow always comes, so worry a little less. Okay, if you'd like to lie down on your back, we'll be placing the soles of the feet together with the knees flopping out to the side. And then we're going to take our thumbs, the center of the body, and stretch them right up beyond the head, and then sweep down to the side. So to repeat, soles of the feet together, knees flopping out. The palms are together in your groin, facing downwards. We've done this before. And we inhale as we bend at the wrists. You keep the arms straight, you bend at the wrists, taking the thumbs around to the torso. And then you start to move the thumbs up the middle of the body, touching the torso, over the face, over the scalp. And you put your hands on the ground as close as you can to your head. Don't worry if you can't get it so close. And then you inhale, you're stretching right up. You can take a couple breaths doing this. And this is a stretch that you use as you sweep out and down. So this is a wonderful posture for getting a slow, deep breath in. As you can feel, you're stretching the groin and you're stretching your intercostal muscles. As you stretch up and beyond, you can feel elongate the whole body. And remember, that's a stretch. You keep that stretch as you sweep out and down. It's very relaxing, this. If you need to adjust your feet after a few moments, please do. So palms together, fingers pointing downwards as you inhale, a flexion of the wrists, and then you drag the thumbs up the middle. Slow, smooth, deep breath. As I say, you can, if you can't get this action in one breath, then you take a couple breaths. And as usual, always waiting for your natural pause. That stretch, and then you sweep down. It's very relaxing. As you're sweeping down, you totally relax and release. You can take a comfort breath in between each movement. But this is a wonderful one. The diaphragm's pushing down. You're getting a good gaseous exchange. It's a lovely stretch. That was a nice crack in my shoulder. So this is why you do it slowly. You always do these things slowly in line with the breath. So if there's any snap, crackle, and pop, you're less likely to do damage. These are just the structures settling into the position that you're asking the body to work in. Nothing to be alarmed about. And really let go with the exhalation as you sweep the hands down. So I keep saying the same things, but this is a type of thing you can do at the end of the day. If your body's been sitting in the same position or standing in the same position, you can lie down. It's not load bearing. Your heart is at the same level as your body. You're resting your medicine ball, your head. And this is a lovely one. You can do this first thing in the morning in bed. You just drag yourself down to the end of the bed, or you go diagonally across the bed. It gives you the space. You can do this keeping your eyes closed if you're still a bit sleepy. There's always an option. This is a wonderful one to waken up to. Even if it's a cold morning, you can do this under the covers. You can keep yourself covered up. And as you'll find now that the body's beginning to relax into the posture. Really get these breaths in slow, smooth and deep. Clean out those lungs. Calm the nervous system, which will help to bring clarity of thought for the day ahead, if you're doing it in the morning. And if you're doing it at night time, it brings peace of mind and clarity for a beneficial sleep. It doesn't matter if you sleep 8 hours or 10 hours, it matters how calm you are whilst you're sleeping. A few more. Slow it right down. Very nice. Finish the one that you're on. Palms down the side of the body. And we're going to do figure of 8 with the legs. So we'll start very small, 8. We'll lift the right leg and we inhale on the upward movement, around and down, exhale on the downward. So nice and small, small 8s. Inhale on the upward movement, exhale on the downward. This is surprisingly strenuous. You can feel what it's doing in the groin. You can feel what it's doing to your abdominals. And you slowly increase the size of your 8. Inhale as you sweep up. Exhale as you allow the leg to come down across and make your 8. You can give your 8 any color. You can be as creative as you wish with your 8. It doesn't have to be a normal shaped 8, but you're trying to get the full range of the hip. So as your 8 increases, you can sweep right across the body. You can sweep out wide. And you just continue until you feel that's enough. And then you change to the opposite leg. So I'll leave it up to you to decide when you change. Inhale on the upward movement. Exhale on the downward. Nice and slow. Once you start to get an ache, it doesn't matter if you've gone down back to the small 8, you change leg. And this is releasing the muscles in the gluteals, the lower back. And if you wish, you can take your hand and place it on your abdominals, and you can feel what's happening there as well. And of course, if you're giving your 8 a color, then that absorbs your attention as well. So such a simple exercise, again, which isn't load bearing. Slow it down in line with the breath. Lift it up as high as you can to the first point of resistance. And you can use your arms as well to give you additional support. We'll just continue for a few moments more. It's nice to go back and try the opposite, the first leg again, and you see how it's changed, how it allows you greater movement. And of course, if you wish, you can change the direction of your eights. So whichever side you started on, you can. And it feels very unusual because you're going against your first instinctive response. A bit like in the morning when you put on your underwear or put on your trousers. A bit like when you go to walk up steps, you'll invariably put the same leg first to go up the steps. This all creates imbalance. Finish the one that you're on. And just lie in Shavasana for a few breaths. Remember, you're checking that your chin isn't painting the ceiling. Floppy feet, which releases the area you've just been working on, top of the legs and the hip. Palms facing upwards. What you can do now is just take your the space, your lordosis, the space at your lower back. We've all got a curve of some sorts. Just a gentle pelvic push the lower back onto the ground gently and release. That's a subtle movement. So you're just flattening your lower back onto the ground with an inhalation. Wait for your natural pause and then release. I find this very comforting because I have quite a strong lordosis. Sometimes gives me a little bit of bother, but there you are. Inhale, flatten and hold. Exhale, release and smile if you wish. You're trying to immerse yourself completely in your breath, in your movement. Couple more. And then we'll do the wind releasing posture, Supta Pavamuktasana. So we take your legs parallel. So it's the right leg, both legs, left leg. So we inhale as we slide the right leg the foot along. Exhale as we gently clasp the knee and pull it towards your chest. And you tuck your chin in and squeeze. Wait for your natural pause. Then you release. Straighten the leg. In your own time, you inhale as you take both feet to the seat. Exhale and squeeze. If you're doing this for the first time, just pause the video, have a look, play it back. It doesn't matter how far you get with these. It doesn't matter how close the leg comes to the torso, but do place the chin into the sternum. It squeezes the thyroid. And just ease yourself into it. And then it's a left leg. Inhale as you slide along. Exhale as you squeeze. And you just continue right leg, both legs, left leg. The reason for this order is it works on the digestive system, ascending, transverse, and descending colon. So you're massaging the stomach. You're obviously stretching your muscles, contracting others. You're squeezing your thyroid. You're squeezing the lymph nodes under your armpits, the lymph nodes in your groin. This is a wonderful exercise. Nice, again, not load bearing. You can do this when you're exhausted. It's not so strenuous. You're squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing, moving on lymph, moving on blood, moving on the fluids within the body, ready to be released. It's a wonderful stretch in the back. Too many benefits, this exercise, too many. Let's just continue slowly and deeply. Slowly with the movement, deeply with the breath. You'll find that the body will just release of its own accord if you give it the chance. If you find you're getting your both legs directly onto your chest easily enough, then you can separate the knees out wide, and then you can get a stronger pull if you wish. Finish the round that you're on. Back into Shavasana. Take a few comfort breaths. Remember, 70% of metabolic waste is released through your lungs. So when you're exercising and moving, if you go to an extreme level, you build up lactic acid, and then the breathing releases it and cleanses, brings fresh blood into fresh oxygenated blood into the area and reduces the chance of aching the next day. So now we're going to do the bridge. So we take our feet to our seat. Adjust your bottom and lower back into a comfortable position. Check out your shoulders are good. Our hands are down the side of our body, palms down. And we're going to inhale and we're going to raise the seat and raise the hands at the same time. No, we're not. I'm sorry. We're just going to raise the arms first. Keep the seat on the ground and raise the arms. My apologies. And we'll just stay like this for a few breaths. Inhale as we stretch through those arms. Lift up through the shoulders, shoulders to elbows, elbows to wrists, wrists to fingers. And relax. Inhale, stretch through. And relax. Again, you can stay in this position for as long as you wish, but we'll just have a few more breaths and then we'll raise the seat. Always focusing on your natural pause after your inhalation. You keep the stretch during the natural pause and relax. When you're ready, you can raise the seat as you inhale and stretch through. Adjust your feet if you need to once you're up. Check it, you're comfortable, because we're going to raise the legs now. one at a time, obviously. But before we do, we'll have a couple more breaths and just allow the body to get used to being in this position. Now take the weight on the left leg. So take your consciousness, take your awareness to the left leg, contract it, you feel the tightness in the thigh and the gluteals, and we're going to raise the right. Doesn't matter how far you get it, as long as you take it to the first point of resistance and check that you're keeping your seat. You're not losing the stretch. And we'll just stay with the leg up. You can do it dynamically. You can lift the leg up, exhale and go down, but we'll keep it up. So this is a wonderful example of yoga. You're getting the stretch, the strengthening, and the balance. So we inhale as we stretch through the arms, lift up the leg, and you can feel what's happening to your left thigh. If it's too much, you just exhale and come down, and then you change leg. Down we come. A few more stretches. Inhale, stretch through the arms, lift up through the seat, not aggressively. A few breaths to get rid of the lactic acid on that left leg, because I'm sure you felt it. And then we're going to the right. Take awareness to the right leg. Feel that you're secure before you lift the left. Inhale, and up we come. And just breathe slowly and deeply, keeping your arch, keeping the left leg. Keep the leg straight. It doesn't matter how high it's come, depending on what you've been doing throughout the week. When you feel you've had enough, you come down. Again, keep the seat up. Inhale, stretch through those arms. When you're ready to go down, you take the arms down at the same time as the seat, so they both touch the ground at the same time. Gently lower down. Keep the feet at the seat. And now do the same as what we were doing before. Take your lower back, keeping your feet at the seat, take your lower back, and gently compress it onto the ground as you inhale. Get rid of that lactic acid as you breathe deeply. So now we're going to sit up. You've three options. You can stretch out your legs, roll onto your side and push up, or you can slip your hands behind your lower back and push up. You've actually four options. You can rock. You can keep your knees, hug your knees and rock up and down and then spring up, or you can do the balancing boat. So pick the one that you think is going to work for you. In fact, I should demonstrate them. So I don't have to demonstrate rolling onto your side and pushing up, either pushing your hands behind your lower back, but you can rock. So if you take your knees, clasp your knees, you rock back and forth, and then you just come up gently. Or equally, you can do the balancing boat, which means you lift up your legs, hands at the side of the legs, you come up a bit higher, and you tip forward. So now it's animal relaxation. Again, which we've done before. So as this one is a relaxation, we'll just go straight into it. So if you like to lean, I'll move back so you can see my legs. If you like to lean over to the right, and this gives you the easy way to take your left leg and bend it around the side. Then you're taking your right leg and placing the toes in line with the knees. If I move along a bit here. So with something like this, left leg around the side, right leg, toes, just touching the top of the knee. And then we're going to inhale and exhale and lean directly over our right thigh. We've done this before. If when you get down, you feel this is too easy, then all you do is you come back up, take your foot out a bit, and then you go down any lower part of the leg. And this will give you a much stronger stretch. But we'll just go with this one first. So we turn our torso around, we're looking directly in line with our right thigh. Again, you can raise your arms and go down with straight arms. You can raise like this and go down. I don't do that because of a weak lower back. So I just walk the hands out, walk your hands out until you come down to a comfortable position. It may not be flat. It doesn't matter where you get to. And then you start breathing from that position, inhaling, stretching up and releasing the lower back, releasing the gluteals. And you just continue until you get a first point of resistance. And what you're doing is once the hands are on the ground, you're keeping your fingers in line. So this means that the stretch from the torso is equal. So you're not having one fingers slightly further forward, because then you'll twist the torso and you get an unequal stretch. But you keep coming down. So at the moment, I can't get my left elbow on the ground. So I keep the fingers in line, lower my head, and I start to breathe. Well, I'll keep it up so you can hear the microphone. So remember that rule, 6 seconds until the muscles start to release and do what you're requesting of them. So you inhale and then soften down. So already with that 2 breaths, my left elbow has got closer to the ground. Perhaps you're completely flat already. Perhaps your arms are straight out. That's great. Animal relaxation. So now I can move my fingers slightly further forward again. This is my side, it's not so strong, so I have to be careful in this position. So only you are aware of what your body's been through and what you're carrying, if it's pulled muscles or repair work. So you have to be very gentle with the breath and with awareness. Just letting the breath do the work. Keeping the fingers in line. And then with time, you will get the head. I don't mean particularly today, but maybe you do. Maybe you have the head completely on the ground. And think that you're taking a breath in between your shoulder blades. So you're expanding that chest, that back area, upper back muscles. And then as you exhale, you're releasing. So lovely posture, this. With all my cycling and swimming, my gluteals are very tight. So this is why I have to take time to get down. So there'll be something that you do that make particular parts of the body tight. So you have to be aware of what that is and approach the posture accordingly. So only now, my left elbow is on the ground. So it's taking this time for the body to release and relax and to help me into the position. So keep the awareness. Imagine the breath is coming in directly between the shoulder blades. That allows that area to stretch and release. So you're inhaling as you stretch through the torso, relax through the shoulders, and soften down. So now I've got my head on the ground. So don't worry if you're not getting this far down. My arms are still not properly straight. It doesn't matter. It matters that you're oxygenating the body and you're getting a stretch through these structures. Now, when you're ready to come out, you can stay here for as long as you wish, actually. As you build it up, it's a wonderful relaxation posture. Again, not load bearing. Again, it can be done at night time when you're tired. When you're ready to come out, then you just edge your hands back slowly. Very slowly. Of course, if you feel up to it and it's for you, you can raise both arms at the same time and allow the lower back to take the whole weight of, the whole weight of the torso and the arms. I used to do that until I damaged my back. So then you come up, you lean to the right, which releases the left leg. And then you straighten the leg and release it, which realigns the knee in case it's gone into a funny position. And then you take out the right one, and again, do the same again, do this. Too many yoga teachers have damaged knees. And you know what's coming now, whether you want to or not. The left side. So we'll lean to the left and take a right around. Then we take a left leg, the toes, in line with the knee. So I know I said before, but if you found that too easy, if you found that nothing was happening to your body, then before you go into this side, you can take a foot a little bit away from the knee. And instead of lying down over the thigh, you lie down somewhere below the knee. And that'll give you a completely different stretch. But I'll stick with the toes and the knee. Turn around to the left thigh. Now I know this will be much easier for me, so perhaps the side will be more challenging for you. And just walk out. First point of resistance, right away, both elbows are on the ground. And relax. And begin to breathe. Remember, you're keeping the fingertips in line, so you're getting the equal stretch through the upper back. This is very nice. Animal relaxation. So this is a wonderful example of how imbalanced we are generally in the body. So I've got my head on the ground within a very short period of time. The other side, it took a considerable time. So this is why you have to build up an awareness of your own body and a practice that suits you. A teacher is only given the basic rules, and you have to apply them in a way that works best for you. Breathe slowly and deeply. You can even smile. Smile to yourself. The universal language of love. Remember, you're imagining the breath coming in between the shoulder blades. And where possible, you're walking out the fingers to try and straighten the arms. Three more breaths. And when you're ready, gently walk out. Remember, if you're watching this in the video, you can pause the video at any time and stay in this for as long as you wish. You have that option. So now that we're back up, we lean to the left and release the right leg. And when you're leaning over, then you've got the chance to, honestly, this is very important once the knee's been in a position like this for a period of time. Then you come up and straighten that. So here we are. Now we're going to do sit-in twists. But we'll just sit tall, take a few breaths first. Now I'll do the sit-in twist round like this so you can see what I'm going to do with my arm. So we take the right leg over the left. You put the foot next to the knee or further up if you can, if that's your shape. And we're going to turn in the same direction. So we've got right over left, and we're going to turn to the left. So you have two options. We turn to the left, we take our right arm to the left side of our knee, and we take our left arm around our lower back. So this is the position. But if you have a back that the muscles aren't built up enough, then you can take your arm, in fact you must if your back isn't built up enough, take your arm close, take your left arm and use it as a post. So it's as close to your seat as possible, and look, it's keeping you upright. So you're not sitting like this, bent torso, you're upright, and until you build up your back muscles, you have the security, this post, it keeps you straight. That's the most important thing. And then you can do your twist. You inhale, exhale as you come round with the chin, and you turn around to the left. So turn back to the front, right over left, around like so, and then you're sitting tall. Inhale, exhale around. Now, of course, you stay in this position for as long as you wish. Breathe slowly and deeply. Again, it's not load bearing. The only thing is it's quite tiring in the lower back, so use your post. Don't worry. If you can't get right around, you get to the first point of resistance and then you start to breathe. Keeping your neck long, don't drop your chin. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. Otherwise, you're bending, if you don't do that, you're bending the neck as opposed to twisting. Keep your torso elongated. And when you've had enough, you come back around in an exhalation. You keep the leg position and you go the opposite direction. So you take your left hand, there's two ways of doing this. So we're going to turn to the right now. So you can hug your knee, like what I'm doing. I prefer this version. Or you can take your arm across the leg like this. And this gives you like a lever to push around. I don't find that comfortable at all. Some people do this, I don't. I like to hug the knee. So I put the knee in my elbow. And the reason I do this is it gives a nice stretch in the hip area. So if you release and then you take this, you can feel what's happening. So I like to do this and hug. And then I go round to the right. So again, you can use your post if you need to. Put your hand in as close as you can to your seat. Lifts up your torso. But if you're comfortable with your back, then you can just put, maybe you can see my fingers around the left-hand side. And then you start. Turn on the exhalation. Inhale, elongate the torso. Gently pull with your arm. Exhale, release. Of course, you can lean against a wall doing these as well. But of course, the benefits are less. As an example, because I'm speaking and I was thinking of the next movement, I allowed my own chin to drop. So these take a bit of time to build up because they are quite strenuous on the back. I used to hate twists. Now I love them. Squeeze all your angst out. They squeeze your negativity. It's like a cleansing when you're squeezing a cloth to rinse it and out with the old to make it fresh for the new. And then in your own time, with an exhalation, you release. And it's only when you release, if you've been sitting in this for a prolonged period, I mean like 15 minutes or something, when you release, you get this wonderful flush of blood and lymph. So now we do the other side. So it's left over right. Easy way to remember. And then we go the direction of the crossover, and then we go against it. So by now you know if you need your arm at your back to support you. Inhale, exhale to the left. Sorry, exhale to the right, my apologies. Keeping your chin parallel, elongating your torso as you inhale. Exhale, relax, and allow the body to twist. When you've had enough, you inhale, lift up. Exhale round to neutral. And you know what's coming now. Remember, you have the choice. You can take your right arm across your leg like this. For me, that just doesn't feel comfortable at any level. But I prefer to hook it. And you can pull the left leg. Then you go round to the right. Inhale. exhale around. And smile. Out with the old to make space for the new. This is what you do when you squeeze the body. So if there's anything still troubling your mind, imagine it's been squeezed out. You're not forcing it out. It's being released with a loving breath. Again, you can always pause the video if you're enjoying this and stay in it for a prolonged period. But obviously in a class environment, come out an exhalation. Uncross the legs. Uncross the legs, sit tall and separate. I have to sit back for you to see my feet, I think. Open your legs so your legs are out at an angle. I'm going to do dynamic spinal twist. So I still don't like this one, but I do it. So we're going to inhale as we raise our arms. We're keeping the back straight. Of course, you can bend the back and I can go right down and touch my toes. I don't want that. Inhale as we raise the arms. I have to come forward, my apologies. And I'm going to turn to the right. I'm not taking the arm round so it comes closer. I keep in a straight line with the arms. You turn the torso, and whichever point you arrive at, then you drop the arm and place it on the thigh or the knee or the shin, wherever you get to. And you turn around and look at your right arm. So as I said, of course, I can bend the back and go down and touch the toes, but then it's not so much a twist. And you feel what's happening to the thighs. Obviously your shoulder muscles and your back muscles. Still trying to elongate as you inhale. Exhale, soften and twist. So you can do this slowly to each side and stay in the position, or you can do it dynamically. Inhale, exhale to one side, come back, inhale, exhale to the other. But we will inhale now as we come back. Tall, stretch out, and then we exhale to the left. My apologies. I've just done what I asked you not to do. You keep your arms straight once you've twisted, and then you take a hand around. Elongate, long neck. When you're ready to come out of it, inhale, stretch out the arms and lower down. So again, you can stay in these for any length of time you wish, depending where you're at. So just sit tall, and then we're going to go into a lunge. The problem with multitasking is something always has to give. And I made that mistake because I was already thinking of the next posture. Okay, so just sit tall, hands on your knees, keep your back straight. Maybe your thighs and your groin are aching a little, mine are. And just relax as you exhale, soften the arms. Simple, sitting tall, hands on the knees. My body is rested. My mind is calm. My heart is at peace. My spirit soars. My body is rested. My mind is calm. My heart is at peace. My spirit soars. Smile. We're just allowing the body to recalibrate. It's a lot of twists. Each time you inhale, you're just checking, you're keeping the back straight. You're keeping it elongated. And I think this feels bliss after those twists. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. So as you're sitting there, send some love to the first person that comes into your mind. Living is giving. Even if it's someone who's done you a disservice, send them love. Living is giving, and the best thing you can give is the benefit of doubt. Three more breaths. Then we're going to go into our lunge. So we come around. So we're in this standard cat, and we're going to take our right foot and place it on the outside of our right hand. And you have a wee check. So if I come forward, I'm going too far forward with my knee, so I can take my foot a little bit further forward. Always have a wee check before you start. And concave the back and look up. So if anything's too tight, you come back a bit, but if everything is okay, then that's your position. I can probably still go a little bit further with my foot. So remember, in this position, all we're going to do is inhale, exhale, and go forward into the lunge, and we're going to stay in this position and breathe. But you have three options for that. You have three options for the hand positions. You can have the palms flat on the ground, which is a lot more strenuous in the back. Or you can come up on your fists, which gives you a higher stance. And when you come forward, it's less problematic for the back. Or you can come up on your fingers. But when you're coming up on your fingers, always keep the thumb directly under the thumb joint. So it creates a post. Don't keep the thumb wide because you'll end up perhaps slipping or damaging. So you've got this thumb and 3 fingers. You've got this wonderful stance there. And when you come forward again, for me, that's not touching my back at all. So I like to go with the palms. So you have palms, fists or fingers. Even in this position, my leg is released a little bit, so I can go forward a little bit more. And then in your own time, you inhale as you come forward and exhale. And you've got this lovely lunge. So I'm just looking here, my leg is perpendicular. And this is, and you just work in this position. So you've got a solid base. Inhale, stretch forward, exhale, soften. You're lifting through the back, you're lifting the chin up, and you're looking up. You get a lovely stretch through the hamstrings or hamstring. Another reason you might want to change your position if you're on palms is it can be hard on the wrists, so you try the fists, and that gives your wrists a break. But obviously you're aware that it's a different stretch. If you need to roll up your mat and give more support for your knee, please do. You must do everything possible to keep yourself comfortable whilst you're in the posture, especially if you're staying in for a prolonged period. Otherwise, that will be the distraction. There's a lovely squeeze in the inguinal nodes, the nodes in the groin, yeah, inguinal. So again, yoga is about an internal massage at its basic level. And then inhale as you come out. And then a quick athletic flip. And you come forward with the left leg. Now I should have put some support under that knee, because that's complaining a little. Again, you play about. I'm too short with my foot there, so I can move it forward. You take the time, check it, you've got the width, distance between your knee and your foot. Again, this is an opportunity to roll up the mat if you wish. Support your knee. Ooh, so that's far enough for me. And then check if you want your palms down, or you want your fists, or you want to be up in the fingers. Inhale, exhale, and do it. Remember, 6 seconds. So you don't have to go hell for leather to begin with. Inhale as you look up, concave the back. Exhale as you release through the groin. Delicious. Or maybe I should just get out more. So mix and match. Whatever position you're in with your hands, change it to see how the posture changes. Slow, smooth, deep, and soften into it. When you're ready to come out, you inhale. Back into the cat. We're not going to do the cat. We're just going to let the body realign. We can do one if you wish. We inhale, we raise the chin, concave the back, and relax. I'm not tucking the chin in today. And when you feel ready, lie down in Shavasana. So although these were I think this was only one load bearing, very beneficial. So if you lie down in Shavasana and get comfortable, we'll have a relaxation. So remember, floppy feet. Palms facing upwards. Floppy feet, release those legs. Palms facing upwards, slightly away from the torso. Check that your chin is not painting the ceiling. Lift up the left shoulder. Lift up the right and roll them back down. If you have a curve at the lower back, a strong curve, flatten it in an inhalation and release. And again, flatten and release. So this is a good example. If you're flattening and release, when you flatten, there's a contact point. When you release, there's not. I know that's rather simplistic, but what I want you to do now is concentrate on the contact points of the body resting on the ground. So obviously we have the heels, calf muscles, bits of the buttocks, back of the hands, elbows. Depending on how rounded you are on the shoulders, maybe the shoulders aren't resting on the ground. The back of the head. So all we're trying to do in Shavasana with each exhalation, we're trying to increase the surface area of the body, totally releasing to the ground. And it does come with time. Even me just saying that, totally releasing to the ground, my body softened. I've obviously been doing this for years, so the body's already programmed. So with each exhalation, allow your body weight to surrender itself totally to the ground. So you're allowing yourself to become heavier and heavier and heavier. Take your awareness to the contact points of your eyelids. Take your awareness to the contact points of your eyelids. Take your awareness to the contact points of your lips. If you're lying with a mudra, which means you're touching a thumb to a finger or any other position, take the awareness of the contact points of your mudra. I've got my thumb touching my first finger. Take your awareness to the contact points of your mudra. Now check again your body. So we said heels, calf muscles. Perhaps now the back of the legs are touching more, the buttocks. The lower back, mid back, upper back. There's more of the body now touching the ground. The backs of the hands, perhaps the forearms, elbows, upper arms. Maybe now the shoulders have relaxed. The back of the head. Take your awareness to any sounds in the distance. Any sounds in the distance. Take your awareness to any distant sounds. Take your awareness to any sounds nearby. Take your awareness to any sounds nearby. Relax your forehead. Relax your eyes. Relax your ears. Your jaw. Your teeth. Relax your teeth. Relax your tongue. Take your awareness to the breath entering the nostrils. You're not controlling the breath. You're allowing the breath to come and go of its own accord, but you're like a sentry at the entrance to your nostrils. Take your awareness to the entrance of your nostrils. Sense the breath entering and leaving of its own accord. Let peace begin with me. Let me begin with peace. So as you're lying there relaxing and enjoying peace, I'll finish today's class with a Zen proverb. Just think of the trees. Just think of the trees. They let the birds perch and fly, with no intention to call them when they come, and no longing for their return when they fly away. If people's hearts can be like the trees, they will not be off the way. I'll read that once more. Just think of the trees. They let the birds perch and fly, with no intention to call them when they come, and no longing for their return when they fly away. If people's hearts can be like the trees, they will not be off the way. As always, thank you very much, with much love. Namaste.